All right, guys, thank you so much for checking out our website. Today, we're going to show you how to appropriately measure for your new insert.
This should make it a lot easier for you because sometimes people get confused about the terminologies. So we're going to go over it real quickly with you, and this will make it a lot easier and a breeze for you to order your cushions.
Exactly. So the first term we're going to use is the depth. So that's going to be from the front to the back of the cushion.
Exactly.
Second term is going to be width, which is from one side to the other side. In this case, my left side to my right side. And then the final one is the actual thickness of the cover itself.
Right. So we're not going to measure, we're not going to include, I should say, the welt or the piping, depending on what you call it. We're going to go seam to seam.
Exactly. And the reason why is just because it's going to add additional, obviously, width to it or depth or whatever you're measuring. It's not necessary.
So we're going to, the first measurement is our depth. Okay. So we're going to go to the front of the cushion to the back where the zipper is. And you can go in multiple places. I'm getting 25.5 here. Okay. Now we're using a metal tape measure, but you could use a cloth. It's a nicer, but it doesn't.
Either one will work perfectly fine. So don't feel like you have to go get a cloth.
Right. So we got, it's just annoying. That's all that, you know. Okay. That's 25.5. So you're going to put in your cart 26.5.
Now you want to add an additional inch to all the measurements. So that's your depth, your width, and even when you get to specialized cushions like the L and T cushions, all those measurements as well.
Okay, so the next one we're going to do is going to be width. I'm getting 27 there, 27.5 here, and 27 there. So they kind of flare these covers out sometimes, if you would, kind of like a football, like goes like that. Okay, they do that for the crown.
Exactly. Exactly. You could actually see it with your naked eye.
A little bit, yeah. So we're probably better off sticking. I'd go less, not more. You know, so let's say it's 27. I think that's a good number. If you're coming up with like a quarter,
you're right.
We don't do quarters.
We don't. Okay. So you can either round down or round up, whatever you feel comfortable with. But always keep in mind, again, you're adding that additional inch.
So it's safest to usually round down, okay? Because it usually doesn't become a problem. It can be a problem if it's too big. So 27 inches side to side.
So you're going to put in 28.
Right. So now our final measurement. Now, did I mention that this works for a square or a rectangle?
It does.
Okay.
Right. There's no difference. So either one's fine.
Right. Same thing. 5 inches here. Check multiple places. Sometimes the seamstress or seamster runs off. 5 inches. They did a beautiful job here.
Perfect.
Let's just say, for example, now it is coming up 5. Let's just say it came up 4.5 on this side. Okay. And maybe 4.5 over here in the corner. I would stick to 5.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're getting more 5s than you are 4.5, then go with 5. And so you would put into your cart 6 inches. Exactly.
Now, we went over this method. This applies for if you want to replace, obviously, the entire insert with a poly foam.
And it has Dacron on it. Exactly. So you'd have to unclick that if you don't want it, but we recommend it.
Yeah, so always keep the Dacron on. It's automatically selected for you. However, let's say you open up this cover and you see a white cover inside there. And you're like, what is this? That could be in your application, and you can tell when you see it, feather envelope or a poly envelope.
And you'll probably know if it's feather.
You will know if it's feather because most likely there's going to be feathers coming out.
Right. They're everywhere. They're in your kitchen. They're all over your floor now.
Exactly. So you will not be puzzled by it. You will know that you definitely have a feather envelope. In that case, let's say you want to keep the feather envelope. Then do not use the method we just showed you.
No.
Take out that foam core, measure it. If it looks really decrepit and like smushed down, you can add a 1/2 inch to it, but add no more than a 1/2 inch to the width, the depth, and the thickness.
Right, so you pull it out and it's got some pretty good edges and corners and stuff, so you can get a clean measurement on it. It's just a little worn for you. Measure the exact same size of the foam.
Exactly.
Don't add anything.
Place that in there. And if it does look a little decrepit, only add a 1/2 inch. Now, let's just say you hate the feathers. You don't want the feathers. Great. Use the previous method that we just showed you about measuring from seam to seam of the cover, because that will allow you to take out the old insert, the complete old insert, including the foam and the feathers, chuck it out, and then replace it with some new poly foam.
Right, exactly. So I hope this made it easier on you, and we so much appreciate you visiting our website.
Absolutely. If you have any other questions, you have 2 other things you can do. We have more videos, one about compression. You can go ahead and check that out. And you can also contact me personally on the live chat, and I'll go ahead and answer whatever question you have.
we get to you as fast as we can. It's just him and I running this, and we really appreciate you visiting and considering our company.
Definitely. So thank you so much.